Today we're going to be taking a look at what I think are the top 10 LEGO Star Wars sets from Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace. Over the past few weeks I have been working backwards through the prequels, starting off with my top 10 sets from Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, and then Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones, and now to finish off the prequels we are at Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace. I'm actually really excited to get into this top 10 because I feel like there's been a lot of LEGO sets from this movie that have been overlooked by the community, and I feel like a big reason to that is because this movie is based in the time frame before there were clone troopers and before there were stormtroopers, which as we know is obviously a lot of people's main draw to LEGO Star Wars. So I'm excited to get the opportunity today to bring some of these sets back into light and show the community my top 10 sets from Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace. Starting off with some honorable mentions, the first honorable mention I have, or the 13th spot, is 9499 Gunyan Sub. Now this is actually a pretty well-known set, mainly because of that Queen Amidala minifigure, which is now actually grossed up to a value of almost $300 today in 2023, and the set itself does look really nice with a bunch of large printed pieces, and it's definitely an upgrade from the original Gunyan Sub. Although the reason I had to put this in the honorable mentions is because the price was atrocious. For 465 pieces and 4 minifigures, this set was $70 and this was in 2012, mind you. To give you a perspective on this, with inflation adjusted, that would mean this set would cost about $90 in today's money. And as cool the minifigures are and as good as the build is, that price point was just really bad and not good enough to be in the top 10 in my opinion. On to the next honorable mention, I have 75258 Anakin's Pod Racer 20th Anniversary Edition. Now in my opinion, I think this is probably the most underrated 20th anniversary set. For only $30, you got a very nice build with a pretty solid minifigure lineup, including the 20th anniversary Luke Skywalker. It's definitely the best version of Anakin's Pod Racer that LEGO has ever made. It looks very accurate and it's very fun to play with, as there is sort of a handle down there at the bottom that also works as a stand. Although the only problem I've had with it is that over the years it does tend to sag quite a bit, and that really is the only flaw with this set, although there's just simply too many other sets from this movie that are better than it, and that is why it is in the honorable mentions. And moving on to the last honorable mention, I have 7171 Mos Espa Pod Race. Now this set came out back in 1999 and was part of the first wave of LEGO Star Wars sets ever made, and it definitely was the best LEGO Star Wars set that came out that year. For $90 you got 3 separate pod racers as well as a little side build to complement them, and not to mention these pod racers actually looked pretty accurate for it being 1999 and the first year of LEGO Star Wars. Although hence I said accurate for 1999, as today in 2023 this set is very outdated, and really the reason I put this set over Anakin's 20th anniversary pod racer is mainly just because you're getting a lot more, as there are 3 pod racers in this set versus just 1, although again they have come to be pretty outdated, but I still put it as the best honorable mention and I think that is valid. Now moving into the official top 10, at the number 10 spot I have 7660 Naboo N1 Starfighter with Vulture Droid. This set was released in June of 2007 and retired in December of 2008. It has 280 pieces and had an original retail price of $30, although if you want this set new today you're going to be looking at paying around $140 to $170. Now, this set was basically the perfect versus set, as you get a very nice looking Vulture Droid as well as a very nice looking Naboo Starfighter, all for only $30. Really the only problem I have with this set is that I wish it would have included a few battle droids, as the only minifigures that are included are Anakin, R2-D2, and then a Naboo pilot, and I wish it would have come with a battle droid or 2 or maybe a droideka, and that's mainly the reason I put this set at the number 10 spot. I mean overall it has a very good value as you're getting 2 vehicles for only $30. I just think the minifigures are lacking a little bit. Moving on to the number 9 spot, I have 75096 Sith Infiltrator. This set was released in August of 2015 and then retired in December of 2016. It has 662 pieces and had an original retail price of $90, and if you want this set new sealed in the box today you're going to be looking at paying around $300. Now I personally think this is a very underrated set. It's clearly the biggest and the best Sith Infiltrator that LEGO has ever made, with an amazing looking model and an amazing lineup of minifigures. One of those minifigures being Watto, which is a figure that's only been made 3 times, as well as an exclusive Darth Maul and an exclusive Qui-Gon Jinn. Although there's one problem I have with this set that might be a small nitpick to some people, but to me it is worth noting, and that is that there are too many exposed studs on this ship. It's definitely not a deal breaker or anything, as again I still think this is the best Sith Infiltrator LEGO has made. I just think around the middle section and the wings there should have been a few more tiles to tile up some of those studs, because in universe the Sith Infiltrator is a very sleek and smooth looking ship, and I feel like LEGO could have represented that a little bit better here. It's not a deal breaker or anything, as I still think it's a great set, although for me at least the exposed studs did keep it at the number 9 spot. Moving on to the number 8 spot, I have 7929 The Battle of Naboo. This set was released on January 1st of 2011 and retired in December of 2012. It has 241 pieces and had an original retail price of $25, and if you want this set new sealed in the box today you're going to be looking at paying around $130. Now the actual troop carrier itself is really not that much to talk about. It's a fairly basic and detailed detailed build that gets the job done. Although the reason I put this at the number 8 spot is because for $25 you got 12 minifigures, 8 normal battle droids, 2 battle droid pilots, a Gungan soldier, and Jar Jar Binks. And I think this set is very underrated. People tend to overlook that this was one of the best droid army builders of all time, and its army building capability definitely rivals the army building capability of the 2007 droid battle pack. And along with that, you got 2 amazing Gungan minifigures, all for only $25. This set really was one of the best army builders of all time, and I think it tends to get overlooked way too much, and that is why I put it at the number 8 spot. Moving on to the number 7 spot, I have 7155 Trade Federation AAT. This set was released in May of 2000 and retired in December of 2001. It has 158 pieces and had an original retail price of $20 US, although if you want this set new, sealed in the box today, you're going to be looking at paying around $200. Now I think it's safe to say that this is by far the best tan version of the AAT Lego has made. It's not the best version of the AAT in general, but it's definitely the best tanned episode 1 version. And honestly, every time I look at this set, I'm still just blown away about how ahead of its time it was. This set was released in only the second year of Lego Star Wars sets and is almost 100% accurate. And then that, along with those large printed pieces on the bottom, just all come together to make a very accurate and impressive model, especially for 2000. Although unfortunately up at the top there are a few bland places, especially around the side turrets, as there's just a plate that sticks out across that holds the guns, which does look pretty bland. But other than that, for this set being released in 2000, it is very impressive to me, and that is why I put it at the number 7 spot. Moving on to the number 6 spot, I have 7058 MTT. This set was released in August of 2014 and retired in December of 2015. It has 954 pieces and had an original retail price of $90 US, although if you want this set new, sealed in the box today, you're going to be looking at paying around $400. Now I've talked about this set many times, and every time I talk about it, I always say it gets way too much hate. Now don't get me wrong, it's clearly not as good as the 2007 model, and that's the reason it gets a lot of hate, because the 2007 MTT really set the standard, or at least set the standard for the fans of what a Lego MTT should look like, and this set just did not meet that standard in any way, shape, or form, although that standard was very high. And although Lego downgraded quite a bit, I don't think that makes this a bad set. Obviously it's a lot smaller, but I think it did a pretty decent job at capturing the overall look of the MTT, and also it's a lot more glossy and smoother looking than the 2007 model. The only complaint I have is that obviously it does not hold as many droids as it should. It can only hold 6 battle droids, which is just not enough. It should have at least 10 in there, and there are a few noticeable gaps throughout the build. Other than that, I think this set gets a little too much hate, and I think it deserves the number 6 spot. Moving on to the number 5 spot, I have 7962 Anakin Skywalker and Sebulba's Pod Racer. This set was released in June of 2011 and retired in December of 2012. It has 810 pieces and had an original retail price of $90 US, and if you want this set new, sealed in the box today, you're going to be looking at paying around $300. Now in my opinion, this is without a doubt the best Pod Racer set ever made, and that is mainly due to Sebulba's Pod Racer. Anakin's Pod Racer looks really good, but I don't think it's as good as the 20th anniversary model, although Sebulba's Pod Racer definitely carries this set. Lego did an absolutely outstanding job with the model, making it basically 100% accurate, and they really captured that very mean and aggressive look that Sebulba's Pod Racer has, and I think without a doubt it deserves the number 5 spot. Moving on to the number 4 spot, I have 75092 Naboo Starfighter. This set was released in June of 2015 and retired in December of 2016. It has 442 pieces and had an original retail price of $50 US, although if you want this set new, sealed in the box today, you're going to be looking at paying around $200 to $250. Now the value on this set is absolutely incredible. For $50, you get so much for so little. First of all, obviously you have the amazing Naboo Starfighter, but you also get 7 minifigures on top of that, along with 2 droidicas, as well as a bunch of cool side builds, including a weapons rack and then a ladder to get up to the Naboo Starfighter, as well as a little stand for the Naboo Starfighter itself. Honestly, this set isn't just the Naboo Starfighter, it's the Naboo Starfighter along with half the hangar bay. And not to mention, the lineup of minifigures they chose is perfect, because it perfectly represents the scene where young Anakin takes off in the Naboo Starfighter while Obi-Wan is fighting off the droids. And the fact that you got all this for only $50 is just mind-blowing to me, and that is why I put it at the number 4 spot. Moving on to the number 3 spot, I have 7665 Republic Cruiser. This set was released in September of 2007 and retired in December of 2008. It has 919 pieces and had an original retail price of $90 US, although if you want this set new, sealed in the box today, you're going to be looking at paying around $500 to $600. Now this is a very unique and one-of-a-kind set, as first off, the ship itself does not get much screen time in the Phantom Menace, and because this is the only time Lego has ever made this ship. It's obviously a precursor to the Republic frigate, and I think for 2007, Lego did a really good job at recreating it, although I do have to say there are a few places where its age definitely shows, especially with the number of brick build areas. I think it just just looks slightly outdated, not bad in any way, just slightly outdated, and that's why I kept it at the number 3 spot. And I think if LEGO remakes this ship in the future, it'll be a significant upgrade and a lot more accurate and more modern looking. Moving on to the number 2 spot, I have 75086 Battle Droid Troop Carrier. This set was released on January 1st of 2015 and retired in December of 2016. It has 565 pieces and had an original retail price of only $40 US. And if you want this set new sealed in the box today, you're going to be looking at paying around $200 to $250. Now talk about getting a lot for a little. For only $40, you got 14 battle droids, 12 normal ones and 2 battle droid pilots, as well as an exclusive Gunyan soldier. And unlike the droid carrier that came in the Battle of Naboo, this one is actually very accurate to the movie. LEGO got the look of it down absolutely perfectly, and they definitely found a way to significantly upgrade it from the 2011 version, and it really just looks absolutely flawless, and it looks amazing on display, and you can use it in a number of different mocks. And not to mention the number of battle droids you get is just perfect for army building. All of this for only $40 is why I had to put this at the number 2 spot. And moving on to the number 1 spot, who would have guessed I have 7662 Trade Federation MTT. This set was released in June of 2007 and retired in December of 2008. It has 1,330 pieces and had an original retail price of only $100. Although if you want this set new sealed in the box today, you're going to be looking at paying around $900 to $1,000. I think to most of you it's no surprise that I had to put this set at the number 1 spot. For $100 you got this massive MTT that is very accurate to the movie, and along with that you got 21 minifigures, including 16 normal battle droids, 2 battle droid pilots, 2 battle droid securities, and a droideka. This truly is the best MTT ever made, and a lot of people actually consider this to be one of the best LEGO Star Wars sets in general ever made, and I myself definitely consider it to be in the top 10 or maybe even the top 5. So obviously I had to put this set at the number 1 spot for the best LEGO Star Wars set from Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace. Anyways guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Let me know what you think about this list down in the comments below, and if you're new, please consider subscribing, and if you want to check out more of my videos, you can see them on the end screen right now.